Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Axel Rose, the Shogun with the slogan. And if you don't know where it's been, you don't know where it's going. And today, Microsoft, Gamescom. Let's talk about it. Now, first and foremost, Xbox fanboys, chill. This is not a bashing video. We're just gonna go over the rationale and pinpoint the greatness of the overall conference, okay? So just chill. This is not a bashing video because every time I'm slightly, even the least bit critical of the Xbox One of your beloved Microsoft masterpiece, you guys be in my comment section blah, 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 spamming all day like, if you say another N-word about the Xbox One, I'll kill ya. I'll kill ya, mate. I swear to God, I'll kill ya. Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying. You know how some gamers can be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm saying. You guys, we all need to chill when it comes to the console war. We all need to be a little bit neutral. You know, a little bit more like the Sony side. You know what I'm saying? What was that you said? Why am I wearing blue? I always wear blue. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean that PlayStation limited anniversary? But why is that there? Before I was rudely interrupted by my guest and co-host, back to Microsoft. Now Microsoft's whole strategy and ethos for conferences, whether it be E3, Gamescom, or wherever they end up, seems to be play it safe but strong, which is a good strategy, but it can work as a double-edged sword. We'll get to that later. But for now, let's talk about Scalebound. Now, this game has been a media myth for almost going on 2 years now. And now we finally get to see some gameplay and get some of that proof that's in the pudding. And one of the things that is really good about this is that we can tell that it's not just going to be a straightforward action adventure game. When I saw the character dishing out damage and laying the smack down on the NPCs in the world, I noticed that the characters had hit points, meaning that you're probably going to be able to level up and add more attributes to your character a la Bloodborne and other RPG games of that ilk, which is very good because it encourages you to play through more than once, and it means that different Xbox gamers will get different playthrough and experiences. What can be wrong with that? Another thing that was really dope and I was really hoping for was co-op, especially because it looks like you can have a little kind of Monster Hunter vibe going on there with designing your own character, having individual weapons and monsters. Definitely looks like something that could be cool. I just hope there's enough depth to it to make it just carry weight. Because to be honest, Sony's Horizon looks like it's in the same kind of space as Scalebound. And as far as action, as in melee action, if there's any in Horizon, I think if we have to compare two games, which we probably will end up doing because they both seem very similar, hunting big monsters with small protagonists, you get to befriend monsters, whatever. It does seem like the melee combat advantage will go to Scalebound because Platinum's pedigree when it comes to pounding creatures, you don't even have to, specialize on that. What do you have to say about that, homeboy?
You see, what the blood clot, man. You already know what the hotness is. Microsoft had the hotness. Scalebound had graphics that you can't believe. Okay, you say that the frame rate looked like dog shit. But even though the frame rate looked like dog doo-doo, the gameplay looked wicked, man. I love the way the devil boy cry, man, jump and lick the brother. Then I lick the brother in the backside, and then the dragon they fall down and burn the other creature. Then everything cool. You know what I say? Yeah, you know what I say? Yeah, Microsoft, Gamescom, wicked thing.
1 second, let me check with the producer. Weren't you English in the beginning of the show? Now you've got a Jamaican Scottish accent. I'm gonna check your green card and your passport after the show. Yes, Quantum Break, Gamescom. Now, Quantum Break has been another game that has been an entire mystery. When we first heard about it, was attached to part of Microsoft's whole entertainment vision for the new console, and now that that's fallen by the wayside, we wonder if Quantum Break will still be able to convey a cinematic gameplay without having a show. And by looking at the gameplay, it looks like they'll be able to do such that. Specific camera angles, like there was one scene that I found very visceral. That, like, I don't know if you guys watched it, but basically there was a cover shooting scene going on, and a big van came and crashed through a wall, and where the camera was positioned just on a wheel showed that they're definitely still going for a whole cinematic, immersive experience, which is very good because, to be honest, when I saw the gameplay, the first gameplay of Quantum Break, I wasn't too impressed. Because even though the whole time-stopping gun-fighting gameplay seemed interesting, it's like, how much of that can you do before the game becomes boring or just way too easy? See a group of enemies, stop time, look for some cover, or get to a vantage point, take out the enemies. You know what I'm saying? So I am happy to see that Remedy are still trying to find ways to flip with the gameplay to try and make it that bit more innovative. Other highlights of the show were Killer Instinct Season 3. Now, KI was one of the main reasons I bought my Xbox One as soon as I did. Massive Killer Instinct fan from back with the days. Still got my black Super Nintendo cartridge to prove it. And yeah, yes, I love it. Now, seeing that Killer Instinct is back for another season next year makes me really happy because it lets me know that Microsoft are actually taking this IP very seriously. Another thing that makes me happy is that they're actually cross-branding and throwing Rash, my boy from the Battletoads, into the fray. So it'll be really interesting to see how he will, get down with the rest of the Killer Instinct Massive. He should be available for download today. So yes, expect some gameplay with him by the weekend. Other highlights of the show which I found out were quite cool. We do have a Homefront beta coming to Xbox One first. Yay, that was quite cool. Other things that was okay is Halo Wars 2. Yes, we have Halo Wars 2 coming to Xbox One. We also have limited edition Xbox One consoles being made for Halo 5. Yeah, yes. And one thing that was very good for all you competitive gamers out there was actually being able to have a new look, a new stage for Halo 5. And yeah, multiplayer stage does look dope. It does look like it makes use of all the new armor abilities and movement features in the new Halo 5. Very good. Very excited about actually getting into that myself. Now, what I do want to talk about is overall how the conference came across. Now, one thing that I definitely respect is that Microsoft seemed to be taking a leaf from Sony and Nintendo's books, which is stop relying on third-party developers and make your own stuff. Third-party developers are businessmen, but they're more hardcore businessmen than you guys. Let me explain. They go where the largest install base is. And unless your console has that at the beginning of the generation, you can pretty much kiss their exclusive support goodbye unless you're going to be paying for it. And that's not unfair, that's just good business. So it makes sense for every console manufacturer to have a strong staple of titles that they know they can sell and use to attract new consumers and new lovers to their platform. Nintendo have their Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Metroid franchises. Sony are really starting to bolster their franchises with Gran Turismo, God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us, and now they're adding Street Fighter and stuff like that. Like, it's just crazy. So we can see that exclusives are definitely the way to go, and Microsoft have never ever really been too serious about doing their own thing. And I'm so happy that they're going back to the original days of the Xbox One, being like, you know what, we don't need Wipeout. We're just gonna make Quantum Redshift. We don't need Devil May Cry. We're just gonna make Otoji. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, and I'm just really happy that they're going back to doing that. Hopefully, the console can actually form more of an identity for itself rather than the quote-unquote dude bro machines. And yeah, it's just actually really good to see Microsoft make a strong, informed, sensible move on providing games for the console, because that Minecraft deal, but anyway, now let's get to the slightly negative. Yes, Xbox fanboys, forgive me. Now, why I say Microsoft's strategy of strong but safe isn't good is because, well, sorry, I wouldn't say that's not good. I'd reiterate and say that it's not exactly, it's a good strategy, but it's not the best. Why? Because it doesn't work in every situation. Sony, being as ahead as they are, just means that more third-party developers are just going to be shoving content that way. And it's going to seem like less of a business risk because they've got more of an install base. And when you're that behind, when you are trying to make, because at the end of the day, let's look at it like this. Sony have made a very good case to the gamer of why you should own a PlayStation 4. Not only is it the most powerful console, but they're going to be supporting it. We know it's going to have third-party support. And we do know that Sony have the widest, biggest, most critically acclaimed first-party studio at the moment right now. It is what it is. Forget the whole this console war nonsense. Whatever. It is what it is. Sony's first party is what's doing it now. I go. So, Microsoft really need to close that gap. And closing that gap doesn't mean safe and strong. It doesn't. It means taking some risks. Now, at this year's E3, Sony, if they wanted to, they could have rested on their laurels and just came out with Uncharted, Last Guardian, and Street Fighter 5. Would they have won the show? No! But it would have been like, okay, this is what I'm going to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, PlayStation 4 probably showed the new God of War and a little bit of Horizon. But they went beyond that. They gave us the stuff of gaming legends. They said, hey, remember that game Shenmue? We're giving you that. Hey, remember Final Fantasy? We should give you that. You know what I'm saying? So Sony really brought the A game and made a strong case for you to own a PlayStation 4. And Microsoft needs to do that same thing. Microsoft needs to be like, okay, safe does it, but we really need to come in there strong, man. We really need to take some risks and do some damage. Do you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like backwards compatibility. Oh my gosh, what was that? They're after me. But stuff like backwards compatibility is all well and good. I love the fact that Microsoft is making the strides and steps to implement that. But man, come on, pull up some of them greenbacks, pull up some of them micro dollars. I want to see some. I really do want to see Microsoft actually try and fight harder than they are right now. Because even though today's conference was good, like I still feel like they could have dropped some megatons, something that like I would have been really, really excited to see a new 3D Battletoads game, just using old Devil May Cry, old God of War, even if they used the Rise engine and just spruced it up so the gameplay wasn't so repetitive. Like I'd pretty much be down for that. Just don't say that in public. But anyway, let me know what you think. Like, I'm not saying that Microsoft had a bad show. I'm just saying, don't you wish they just came with that, they just, that 1-2 punch, that, woo! I thought that we was going to really have a lot to talk about. That water cooler moment, that, woof. Did you see the ass on that game over there? You know what I'm saying? But yes, leave your comments, everything. Share the video. Share with those delusional fans that don't even know what's going on in these gaming streets. I want to give a shout out to all the gaming people. Sony Council, Jabari, Kev, Cushy Main, all you guys. Do you know what I'm saying? One stop. You're not start playing games, son. everybody that's doing their thing on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Just give a shout out to everybody. Really do want to say, actually, cool guy passed away on the weekend and stuff like that. Been in a couple of parties with him, and I used to watch his videos and stuff like that. Supreme HD, you know what I'm saying? Rest in power, brother. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just, you know what I'm saying, just have fun in the community, man. It's video games, you know what I'm saying? Why are you taking this so seriously? So yeah, anyway, hold on, your boy. Peace.